Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now, live at 4 on this Tuesday. Danica Lewis in for Susan Simon this week. Good to have you here.
Yeah, good to be here.
We lost another Hollywood legend today.
I know.
2 in a row.
I know.
Doris Day yesterday. And
crossing our fingers that bad news doesn't come in threes this time around, right?
We'll look back at the career of comedian Tim Conway, famous from the Carol Burnett Show. But first, here's what else is making news on this Tuesday. The president says, don't worry about the trade war with China, just as he prepares to impose another round on Chinese goods.
That's right. And for one Madison company, the trade war is good news. Amanda Quintana will be here to explain why.
And Tiger Woods faces a lawsuit this afternoon. The family of a Florida man say Woods and the people who manage one of his restaurants are to blame for his drunken driving death.
First and foremost, though, let's send it out to the weather patio. First, weather words here. Look at these guys just hanging out. Does anybody work?
This is the way to spend the day.
Especially a day like this one. Another nice day, the weather words. Now let's send it out to the patio where it's still a nice day out there. We have Dana Fulton. Oh, no, we've got Chris Reese out there. Chris, you're mixing it up on me.
That's right.
Come on.
Surprise. Surprise. It is me out here. Hey, we have had a beautiful day. We had a beautiful day yesterday as well. Folks managing to take advantage of that. You saw that in the shot there. Folks out by the water, just enjoying the outdoors. And today is even warmer than we were at this time yesterday by 5 degrees here, 11 degrees as you work your way over towards Waukesha. Now highs so far made it into the 70s for a lot of folks. And this is good because up until today and yesterday, we had not really had days in the 70s so far. This May, going back until May 5th. That was the last time. Temperatures right now still in the upper 60s and the low 70s for a lot of folks. Winds are out of the south at 10 miles per hour. Folks, it's that southerly wind that's really going to be ushering in the warmth as we go through the next couple of days, along with perhaps the moisture. Yeah, we could see some rain chances on the horizon. So that is why we want to enjoy what's out there right now. You do see some clouds. No rainfall is coming out of those clouds. In the meantime, there are some showers up across parts of northern Minnesota. That's with the cold front that's moving south. That means cloud cover is going to be increasing as we go throughout the evening. Thankfully, though, I do think the air is going to be just dry enough, this go around at least, that most of us are just going to be dealing with cloud cover. It's later on in the week that those rain chances really do begin to ramp up for a lot of folks. We're watching traffic right now. This is the Beltline at Park Street. Oddly enough, it's very smooth right now. We will begin to see that volume increase, but of course, slowdowns are starting to show up on the Beltline per normal. We'll be tracking that going throughout the show along with the 5 and the 6 too. Downtown, we're seeing some slowdowns outbound on Park Street towards Fish Hatchery, along with John Nolan. Even some slowdowns outbound on University if you're coming from the Isthmus headed towards Middleton, so do be prepared for that. But for the most part, most routes are moving along at normal speeds. It is slow eastbound on the Beltline from Verona Road to John Nolan as of now. Guys?
A few minutes, thank you.
First at 4, Vice President Mike Pence will be in Wisconsin this week, touting the new trade agreement between the U.S. and Mexico.
This as President Trump says the ongoing trade war with China is nothing more than, quote, a little squabble. Here's Natalie Brand with the latest from the White House.
President Trump is defending his tough stance in the escalating trade war with China.
We are the piggy bank that everybody likes to take advantage of or take from, and we can't let that happen anymore.
Both the U.S. and Beijing have raised tariffs, and now President Trump is preparing to potentially impose another round of tariffs on an additional $300 billion worth of Chinese goods. Analysts say this would make items Americans regularly buy as much as 25% more expensive, including groceries and smartphones. Even lawmakers who support an aggressive approach say the clock is ticking.
I'm concerned that the president doesn't understand that tariffs are a temporary tool to formulate a long-term trade strategy.
Hopefully they can get back to the table and negotiate a deal. Sooner the better.
President Trump plans to meet with his Chinese counterpart at the G20 summit in late June, but there's been no announcement yet of any official trade talks before then. The standoff is hurting the heartland. Illinois corn and soybean farmer Evan Holteen says they're already dealing with slumped profits and bad weather and can't take much more.
We've supported him from the get-go on trying to bring China to the table and make them more accountable for their practices, but every day that this ticks on, farmers are the ones that are taking it on the jaw.
President Trump has offered to bail out farmers with approximately $15 billion of tariff revenue, but many say they'd rather have a trade deal. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And economists believe it could take about 90 days to see price increases at stores from this latest round of tariffs. And business owners here in southern Wisconsin are worried about how tariffs will affect their prices and profits.
But there is a bike manufacturer in our area that believes the trade war could help the sales there, not hurt them. Amanda Quintana is here with more on why Saris is welcoming this increase.
Yeah, well, the CEO tells me that the main reason is because this levels the playing field for domestic manufacturers like Saris. They make bike accessories like racks and stationary indoor trainers right here in Madison. Although they get their steel and aluminum from America, those prices went up when Trump put a tariff on imported steel and aluminum back in March. In order for domestic companies to stay competitive, so he says he's been paying that higher price for more than a year, while other manufacturers make their bike products in China for cheaper.
We wanted to be able to produce product in the United States. That was our mission, our goal 30 years ago. But it's tough right now because we're paying this duty already on steel and aluminum that our competitors aren't paying.
The Madison area is home to big bike manufacturers like Trek and Pacific Cycle, who did not return our request for comment, but Planet Bike, who also creates products here locally, says they've had to shift from buying some of their products in China to Taiwan instead, but they say they cannot shift them all. A Planet Bike representative said, although President Trump has tweeted that it will not affect consumers, the price will have to be passed down, affecting the buyer of those bicycles.
Somebody's got to pay the price. All right, Amanda, thank you.
Health officials confirm a neurovirus outbreak caused 25 people to get sick after eating at La Hacienda Mexican restaurant on Park Street here in Madison. That restaurant closed last Thursday while they worked with health inspectors, but it was open again this afternoon. While Public Health Madison could not pinpoint the origin of the virus, they said it was likely caused from a sick employee or a sick customer. News 3 Now's Jamie Perez will have the details on what we found out today coming up tonight at 5 and 6. 2 people are dead after an incident in Walworth County.
It happened after police were called to a home in Darien last night, just after 6 p.m. Eric Franke joining us now with the latest on this case. Eric?
Mark and Danica, the initial call came in just after 6 last night. This was on Buckingham Court near Wildwood Park in the village of Darien. When they got there, police found a man shot in the shoulder. He was hospitalized. He's now said to be in stable condition. Police then started negotiating with someone inside that home for several hours before a SWAT team finally broke into the house, finding the bodies of a male and a female inside. We do not know any names yet or an actual cause of death. It wasn't until midnight that neighbors were allowed back into their homes in that area. Police say there is no longer any danger to the community, but their investigation continues. Autopsies are scheduled for Tuesday.
All right, Eric, thank you.
You're welcome.
The governor's effort to clean up water across the state is moving forward as the state's finance committee approved his proposal for those projects. Governor Evers plans to budget $13.5 million to provide low-interest loans to municipalities for wastewater treatment facilities to reduce non-point pollution, that is, and reduce storm water runoff. The committee did turn down the governor's proposal to spend $1 million to educate hard-to-reach residents about the 2020 census.
Just days before the PGA Championship kicks off in New York, Tiger Woods is being sued by the family of a man who died while driving drunk. 24-year-old Nicholas Emersberger crashed his Corvette in December of last year after drinking alone for hours at the Woods after a bartending shift. The Florida man's family says Woods, who owns the restaurant, Woods' girlfriend, who's the general manager there, should have cut him off.
He just wasn't finished here yet. He had plans to do stuff and to help people because that's who he was. And it's just devastating that he's not here.
Well, we're all very sad that Nick passed away. It was a terrible night, a terrible ending, and just we feel bad for him and his entire family. It's very sad.
Himmelsberger's parents claim that their son's co-workers knew he had an alcohol problem and still encouraged a drinking culture.
The president is downplaying reports that the Pentagon has plans to deploy troops if Iran attacks the United States. The New York Times reports security officials have presented a plan to send 120,000 troops to the Middle East, but it does not envision a land invasion of Iran. Now, an initial assessment showed that country was responsible for explosions on 4 oil tankers off the coast of the United Arab Emirates. In response, the White House repositioned an aircraft carrier and a bomber group in that region.
If there's miscalculation, it will be on the part of the Iranian regime. We've made it very clear that we will deter, we are trying to deter the threat of Iranian acts.
Iran accuses President Trump of moving the two countries toward war, saying military presence there is more of a target than a threat.
Well, still to come at 4, thanks to the Greek freak, the Greek population in Milwaukee is freaking out.
Yeah, that's certainly right. We'll see how that community is celebrating the Bucks' run to the NBA Finals. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. The man who won the $786 million Powerball jackpot is sharing his good fortune.
I would hope so. A Franklin Park, Illinois mother found that out while shopping at Target over the weekend. Nicole Dimitro went in to get diapers. That was it. She says as she was walking out, a young man she had never met before handed her a $200 gift card and told her, he just wanted to bless a mom on Mother's Day with something unexpected. Demetro snapped a photo of herself with the Good Samaritan in Target, and turns out it was, in fact, Manuel Franco, the 24-year-old man from West Dallas, who took home a lump sum of $477 million last month.
Just wanted to give back that he used to work at the Target in Milwaukee in the grocery section, which I thought was so sweet that he wanted to make sure that he mentioned that. So that's why he was going to Target to hand out gift cards.
You may remember during his news conference in Madison where he officially claimed the prize, Manuel Franco said he had less than $1,000 in his own bank account when he won this, and now he is on a mission to give back.
And still shopping at Walmart.
And still shopping at Target, apparently.
Is Target or Walmart?
Yeah, Target.
Oh,
Target there,
okay.
yep.
All right. Stocks recovered some of yesterday's massive losses.
All right.
I mean, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Amid prospects of future trade talks, the Dow Industrials added 207 points, closing at 25,532. The Nasdaq Composite Index gained 87, and the S&P 500 was up 22. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks continue their quest for the NBA championship, something that hasn't happened there since 1971.
Ooh, been a little while, and the city's Greek community is especially excited for good reason. One of the league's biggest stars is the Greek-born Greek freak himself, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Carrie Alfinger has that story.
From Bucks-inspired sandwiches and cookies to giant banners downtown, Milwaukee has high hopes for the Bucks. The team hasn't gotten this far in the playoffs since 2001. Fans say it's long overdue.
You know, you have some losing seasons and you get a little discouraged, but you keep going to the games. And now that they're doing so good, it just, you know, you really feel the energy.
I think they're going to win the NBA championship.
The last time that happened was 1971, nearly 5 decades ago. It's particularly sweet for the tight-knit Greek community in southeastern Wisconsin, population around 10,000. One of the team's and the NBA's biggest stars, Giannis Antetokounmpo, was born in Greece and wears his Greek pride on his sleeve.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
His brother even waved the Greek flag when he was drafted.
And we feel so lucky to have him here because he's immigrated here like a lot of our parents and has that drive and dedication to become a success. And that's something that's, you know, kind of a big attribute in the Greek community.
Fans call him the Greek freak. Every year the team hosts a Greek night, and the 6'11" power forward makes a point of singing the Greek national anthem. Tim Stasanoulias is the president of the local chapter of a Greek culture advocacy group.
To be able to participate in that with Giannis and him leading us, again, gives you a great deal of pride.
That pride spills over this sandwich named after Antetokounmpo. The restaurant Georgie Porgy's created the Euro Step. It has a burger patty, Euro meat, feta cheese, and tzatziki sauce.
People love it, you know, they love what's going on in the community.
For lifelong fan Steve Atsinis, his connection to the team recently got a lot deeper. His son Dimitri was hit by a car and killed last November. The 26-year-old played basketball in tournaments and was a huge fan of the Greek freak.
No question has helped these last few months the fact that, you know, the Bucks are a good team. You know, if they weren't, I know that there'd be more sadness in our life.
A player and a team bringing an already tight-knit community closer. Carrie Alfinger, Associated Press.
We're both hungry now
Yeah,
after seeing that
looked
sandwich.
good, yeah. Well, the Bucks take on the Toronto Raptors tomorrow night for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Tip-off is at Fiserv Forum at 7:30. You can watch that game on TNT, and we will also hear from Kevin Lewis in Milwaukee right here on Live at 4.
It's amazing how one guy can turn an entire city around.
Yeah, but you should see their bench, too. If you haven't watched them, just bring them out, and they'll do some work, too.
That's why they're where they're at.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. When we come back, coming up after weather, we're going to look back at the life and career of comedian Tim Conway. Stay with us. Take a look at this. New York athlete Christopher Joyce displays his impressive strength and balancing skills. Training videos that have gone viral. Joyce originally created handstand workouts on rolling dumbbells and barbells a couple of years ago, but this has taken him to new levels with the help of his mother. He asked his mom to wake up with him at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym with him to roll some dumbbells. Now, the strength of that guy?
I'm speechless right now. There is no way. Oh my God.
And they throw it to him?
And Mom chucks it right in his head. Like, good luck, sweetie. Hope you're strong enough.
The core strength.
Wow.
That's a mother's love right there.
It's something.
Yeah, he's something else.
Oh, my
While
goodness.
we're in New York.
Yeah, but why not? A new museum opening at the Statue of Liberty is giving visitors another opportunity to explore its history and the impact that iconic structure had on the entire world.
That's right. The 26,000 square foot museum on Liberty Island is scheduled to open to the public on Thursday. And this is the new home for the statue's original torch and other artifacts that have been displayed in a smaller space inside the pedestal. 4 million people visit the statue each year, and the new museum is open to anyone who visits. Admission is included in the price of the ferry ticket.
That's America right there. Symbol of America.
I've never seen the Statue of Liberty up close. Now, I've been to New York and I've seen it from afar, but up close is a different story.
So, the museum's open now. Get on the ferry, get out there.
As soon as I have the time off to go to New York, I will. In the meantime, though, the weather pattern is keeping me busy. We are talking one more day of quiet weather before a little pattern shake-up. Your full forecast coming up. It seems like it has been forever since we've been able to say this, but today's highs were a couple degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. The month really has been on a cooler note, but we did make it to 70 degrees. Normally we make it up towards 68, so oddly enough, this is about where we should be for this time of the year. Plenty of sun out there along with some cloud cover. Winds are coming out of the south at 10 miles per hour. That southerly wind, folks, is helping to keep those temperatures warm. In fact, we're still at 70 right now. And then 69 as you work your way over towards Lone Rock. Monroe at 68. Low 70 still showing up for our friends in Janesville, where they are at 72 right now. Expect those temperatures to remain in the 60s and 70s for the next couple of hours, and expect sky conditions to stay the same as well. We've been watching some of that decorator cloud cover show up throughout much of the day. This is something known as convection. You get just a little bit of moisture in the atmosphere, you get that sunshine to warm things up, and the clouds begin to bubble up. Heavier cloud covers, you work your way down towards eastern Iowa. That is actually where we've had some showers and thunderstorms going throughout the day. Most of that, folks, will stay well south of us. We go towards the north, we have more showers moving in towards parts of Lake Superior and then towards Superior as we speak. That's with the cold front that's gradually pushing southward, but this cold front begins a little bit of a pattern change for us. High pressure is in control right now, yes. Here's the region of low pressure associated with the cloud cover and showers to our south. And then you see the cold front to the north. It begins to push southward as we go through time. Now, there's not a lot of moisture around here, but as it pushes southward, we can't rule out some cloud cover and perhaps a shower or two as we go into Wednesday afternoon. Here's a little bit of a closer look, just taking you hour by hour. Notice the showers that came through. They've fallen apart, running into a little bit of drier air. Temperatures by the time you wake up on Wednesday will be in the low 50s. So it's going to be a milder night. 73 for tomorrow's highs. And then I can't rule out more showers and thunderstorms moving in by the time we move into Thursday. Now, Thursday truly begins a little bit of an unsettled pattern towards the weekend. We're watching systems come out of the Pacific, and here's the deal. This little setup that we see in the jet stream that has this big dip across the west and then a little bit of a ramp to send storms into the plains. We call this a jet stream ramp per se, because several storms will come on through and then move on out. This is what we're going to be dealing with going towards the weekend. Watch how those shower and thunderstorm chances really move in Saturday night and into Sunday. And then once we get through Monday, another storm system begins to develop across the plains. That's why we're likely going to be staying unsettled into early next week. In fact, rainfall amounts just through the weekend and into Monday night, we could see upwards of 2 inches of rain, and of course that's not what we want to hear. The ground is so saturated, folks have not been able to put anything in the ground just because the amount of water we've had, and we're going to be adding to that. There is good news though. There's always good news. Check out the temperatures during this time frame. We're talking temperatures that are going to be staying above average for perhaps several days during our forecast. 70s in the forecast each and every day except for one right now. Normally our average high is at 68 to 70. So we could have several days of those above average temperatures, and even the lows are going to be on the comfortable side. Tonight, we're going to see a low of 52 with those winds coming out of the west and southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Most of the lows as we go through the next 7 to 10 days are going to be in the upper 40s and low 50s. Now, there is pretty much a rain chance about every day, but I think very few of those days will be washouts. The best chance for washout days will be Friday early and then Sunday later on. So that rain chance on Friday, I don't think is going to be a complete washout by the afternoon. Saturday, there's a slight chance we'll see some clouds, but warmer temperatures. And we're just going to have to roll with the forecast and be ready to play dodge here or there.
You're right, very active.
Yeah, very active going through the next couple of days, but it is that time of the year. Severe weather threats begin to increase as well.
Right. Farmers don't want to see that, but what can you do?
Unfortunately, we can't control it, but we will keep our fingers crossed at the least
we can
for
do
some
that.
dry weather. Yes, that's what we'll do.
All right, Chris, thank you.
No problem.
Well, another entertainment legend has passed away.
6-time Emmy winner Tim Conway is best known for his co-starring role on The Carol Burnett Show. He died after a long illness. Chris Martinez looks back at his career.
Why are you painting my hand yellow?
Because that's the color you bought?
For 11 seasons, Tim Conway's offbeat comedy
Well, I suppose I could paint a stop on there and get a job at the school crossing.
cracked up audiences on The Carol Burnett Show. Many of his biggest laughs came when teamed with straight man Harvey Korman in skits that showed off his improvisational and physical comedy skills.
And that's the way it was 200 years ago today.
No, this is the way it was 200.
He won 3 of his 6 Emmys for his performances on the variety show. In a statement, Carol Burnett said she was heartbroken. He was 1 in a million, not only as a brilliant comedian, but as a loving human being.
I like the cut of your jib.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. There was this little tailor down in San Diego who...
What?
My jib, sir.
I got you.
Conway first gained fame on the TV series McHale's Navy, playing a straight-laced officer in a group of wacky sailors set during World War II. He also starred in a number of movies, including 1981's The Private Eyes, a film he wrote and starred in, along with Don Knotts. In his later years, Conway continued to act, winning 2 Emmys and new fans for guest appearances on sitcoms Coach and 30 Rock. In 2002, Conway and Corman were inducted into the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
He was comedy royalty, that's for sure.
Yeah, and such a day after Doris Day.
Yeah, I know.
It just seems like bad couple days for
We're
Hollywood.
losing our past.
Most definitely. Tim Conway, by the way, was 85 years old.
And still to come at 4, if vacation isn't the same without your dog, you're not alone.
But traveling with Fido or Fetch or Spot is not cheap. Consumer Reports has some tips on how to save money and headaches when hitting the road with your pet when Live at 4 continues. Look at that sunshine out there. Hope you got a chance to get out for a lunch or something. You're looking live downtown at the Capitol. We will get another check on weather here in just a few moments.
Well, if you're a pet owner, it's no secret that leaving the dog at home with sitters and kennels is a pricey addition to your vacation costs.
That's right, but don't assume that bringing your pup on the trip will always be cheaper. Consumer Reports reveals some important tips on how to save money and aggravation when you travel with your pet. Here's Leah Linscheid.
When the Pilla family takes a vacation, they bring along Dizzy.
Because then I don't have to worry. I know that I'm taking really good care of her.
It's more fun with her there.
Consumer Reports says get prepared ahead of time.
Make sure your pooch is ready to fly and get a health certificate from your veterinarian, including vaccinations, so you can show it to the airlines and anyone else who might require it.
If your pet doesn't already have a microchip, get one. Now let the journey begin. You can hit the rails on Amtrak with your pup for around $26, but only if your trip is less than 7 hours. Airlines usually charge around $125 one way to fly with a small dog in the cabin to many destinations.
And since your pet carrier will count as a carry-on, you may need to pay to check your suitcase. And a travel-compliant carrier can cost you anywhere from $35 to more than $100.
Also, reserve a spot for your pet ahead of time with the train or airline.
They only allow a certain number of pets to be under the seat.
Larger dogs often need to fly in the cargo hold, costing from $100 to close to $1,000 each way. Many airlines don't allow snub-nosed breeds like French bulldogs to fly at all, as they can have difficulty breathing at high altitudes. Now, where to stay? If you're allowed to bring your dog, many hotels will charge a fee from $20 to $100. But some chains do let pets stay free. Need a little more space? Check off the pet-friendly filter on Airbnb and VRBO to find rentals that will let you bring your pets, often for a fee. For News 3 Now, this is Leah Linscheid.
So if you do prefer to take your pooch on a road trip, a lot of car rental companies will not charge extra for pets.
Still, Consumer Report says don't forget about car safety. In an accident, pets can act as projectiles if they're not secured, injuring not only themselves, but the other people in the car. We've got a special video from Consumer Reports with advice on the best ways for your pet to ride in the car. Is that on the website?
I guess so. I mean, I never thought of my dog as a projectile, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they'll just go flying.
Yeah.
And there are car seats for dogs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We've always had bigger dogs growing up, so it's hard to kind of picture, you know, our big German Shepherd at home in a car, a little car seat.
Sometimes it's better just find somebody to take care of them at home.
Exactly.
They'd be a lot more comfortable.
Right. Exactly. Because it's hard to pack everything anyway.
Yeah. And Lola doesn't like being in the car. She can't breathe.
No. Poor Cal.
Okay, a local business is doing something good to help our veterans.
I'm feeling for Lola still. There is some distilling going on together as red, white, and blue. Old Glory herself, that's coming up when we come back.
We're starting to watch those traffic backups increase as folks are headed home on this Tuesday. Right now, this is the Beltline at Park Street. Volume has increased. We've also seen traffic start to slow down, especially as you work your way into the eastbound direction. Eastbound, of course, is where we are seeing the greatest slowdowns on the south side of Madison right now between Verona Road and John Nolan, which is pretty much where it sets up just about every day. Traffic speeds anywhere from about 16 miles per hour up to 25, so pack some patience as you begin to head home, especially if you are traveling from the east side or from the west side and then to the east side. Traffic doing a little bit better on Verona Road today. We are seeing speeds move into the double digits. Coming on the north side, you're moving at about 44 miles per hour right now. Some slowdowns headed east, though, on McKee Road towards Fitchburg. We're going to be watching that going throughout the rest of the afternoon as well. In the meantime, plan on it taking you just under 15 minutes from Verona Road to John Nolan, and then from John Nolan towards the interstate, that'll take you a little over 5 minutes. Guys?
Well, Dad is fighting back tears as he looks at his daughter, Kenzie, in her prom dress. He's emotional because it's not just his daughter's dress, it's the same one his sister wore to prom shortly before she passed away at the age of 19. Kenzie reached out to her grandmother, who saved the dress all these years. Kenzie made a few alterations to make it her own style. She decided to wear the dress to honor her aunt's memory and as a special surprise for her father.
Oh, that is so nice.
Great. All right, Memorial Day just 2 weeks away, and already a local business is honoring veterans in a unique way.
Charlotte DeLeste is here with that story. Hey, Charlotte.
Well, hello.
Hello.
So Philippe Cocard, who we know well of Wollersheim Winery and Distillery, has found a way to bring a spirit of sorts to life, all in an effort to do something good for Wisconsin veterans.
Should be able to do 400 an hour.
Winemaking goes back 13 generations.
They're bottling something special today at Wollersheim Winery and Distillery in Prairie du Sac.
So we wanted to be different.
Co-owner Philippe Cocard and distiller Tom Lenners asked a farmer down the road to grow 3 different types of corn, red, white, and blue. Their goal was to make a special limited edition whiskey.
We decided to blend those 3 colors matching the percentage of the American flag. So the 3 colors are 42% red, 41.5% white, and 7% blue. But nobody that we know has matched the percentage of the flag, 42%, 41%, and 7%. So we think that is a first. And on top of that, aged in Wisconsin oak barrels. Nobody else has done that. So that is really cool.
And how did you figure out the percentage?
Well, you just Google it. So we measured by weight, X many pound of blue, X many pound of red and white, and we kept track of it. We documented it. We had the American flag. We had a pail with each of those colors. This is an American whiskey, and
The inspiration behind this spirit.
She was a huge influence in my life. She was a saint.
A spirit from 70 years ago. For 5 years, starting in 1940, the Nazis occupied France until Allied troops arrived after D-Day to liberate the French people.
Wow, I mean, she was in love with America before I knew what America was.
Philippe's grandmother, Thérèse Lecombre, lived in the southeast corner of France, about 6 hours south of Paris. While she was a woman of few words, the words she did share made an impact on Philippe.
I remember that so vividly. When I was 8, 9, 10 years old, she was always defending America. She was always so proud of America, of the American troops, what they had done to liberate France in 1945. You know, at first I didn't quite get it. And then, you know, talking with her and talking with my parents about the American army walking through the villages. And I remember my mom talking, she got a little piece of chewing gum from an American soldier. I mean, it must have been a first, you know. They saw the American troops walking through the villages, pushing the Germans away. So that was like, wow, this is what we owe to America. I had that dream since I was 12 years old to come to America. I stuck to it, and here I am. And that dream most likely goes back to my grandma always telling me a great thing about America. That concept or that idea of always liking America, liking the American army, the American troops, stuck with me.
Which brings us back to this special, one-of-a-kind whiskey.
I want to do something for the veterans, and that's how we approach and created this event.
With a single goal to simply do something good, as the whiskey aged, Philippe decided he would sell this whiskey with all monies going to help a Wisconsin veterans organization.
Here we are, 3 years later. The product is ready. It is really awesome. I mean, it tastes like a bourbon. It is a bourbon. We are not calling it bourbon to focus on the American whiskey and the flag.
A little spirit to honor a spirit, as well as the spirit of the American soldier.
It's my way of giving back to the soldier. It's my way of honoring what the U.S. Army did for France all those many years back. So it's a little token of appreciation.
To the Wollersheim and Cocard families, thank you for doing something so good. If you are interested in getting a bottle, there is a red, white, and blue whiskey fundraiser at Wollersheim Distillery from 10 to 5 this Saturday, May 18th. Each bottle is $100. There are only 500 bottles, and the distillery will not hold any, so you have to be there to get one. In addition to the sale, there will be a living flag, the Sauk Prairie High School drum line, more live music, food, cocktails, and a check presentation to the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs for $50,000. That's the total for those 500 bottles. And finally, to nominate someone for a Do Something Good story, please go to channel3000.com/do-something-good.
Well, congratulations to him. What a great idea.
I know. He's so excited. Really, it's like he's like a kid at Christmas this week. He's 3 years. It's like 3 years he finally gets to do this.
I mean, just and the connection with his mother and the troops.
And his grandmother, yes,
World War
all
II.
of that. Yeah, he feels so passionately about this.
Yes. And did you try any?
Of course I did. Quality control.
And?
This might turn me into a whiskey drinker
There you
now.
go. There you go.
From wine to whiskey, I can live at Wollersheim.
It depends on the day. You can do both.
That's
Oh, my.
true. Okay.
That's a busy day for Mark.
Let's hang out with him and see what happens.
It's called Saturday.
Well, and you better get out there fast if there's only 500 bottles
Yeah,
and there's
get
no
out
limit.
there early.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What a great cause.
So
What a
it's a
great cause.
wonderful cause. So, and it's staying right here at home. That's what he wanted to do. So,
Yeah. Well,
Thank
good
you,
for him.
Charlotte.
And thanks, Charlotte.
And we'll be right back with the final check of your forecast. get out this evening and enjoy.
Yeah, temperatures are still so warm out there right now. We're at 70 degrees right now, folks, so enjoy that. That was our high today. We've been parked there for quite a bit, 72 in Janesville. This afternoon, or really tonight overall, still going to stay mild. We're cooling down towards 52. There will be a slight chance of a shower. Most of that is going to be north and west of Madison. And Wednesday, partly sunny and low 70s is going to be the name of the game. There's going to be plenty more 70s coming up this week, but we are talking more storm chances returning to the forecast as well. When are we not, honestly?
Really?
Yeah, it's been such a wet pattern, and I do think we're going to see a few more wet days ahead, but right now, it is certainly a glorious day.
And at noon, Dave said we've had one 70-degree day so far in May.
Yes, this makes two.
Now just string them together.
Yes, they're all coming at once.
Keep them coming.
Yeah,
Keep them coming.
Thank you, Chris. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, our Kevin Lewis will have a preview of the Milwaukee Bucks Toronto Raptors Conference Finals game.
Fear the Deer and Lisa Briggs from Bruce Company will show us how to attract butterflies to the backyard.
Well, in today's final